Yo, what's up, boys? So I'm making these Pvlace melodies. Like always, link in the description to download. Follow my Instagram at LoganKBHN. And before I say anything, Pvlace, like I listened to his producer grind interview, and that inspired me to start making loops like middle of 2020. So yeah, if you haven't heard that, you should listen to that producer grind interview. There's a lot of gems, but yeah, let's go. Yo, what's up, boys? Today I'm gonna show you guys how to make melodies like Pvlace. Yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna just play the sample we're gonna break down. So to make these Pvlace melodies, there's pretty much 3 elements that I notice in a lot of them. So, and I'm not going to talk about his mixing or his detune. That's just a whole other topic. So the 3 elements Pvlace has is he'll take some simple chords and not arpeggiate them almost, but he'll just kind of create his own melody out of them. Then the second thing I noticed is he puts fillers in a lot of his loops, like fillers and accents and just little background elements that bring it all together. And then the reason he does that is because he can keep the melody pretty simple but have like more stuff going on without it being too much. And the third thing, and this is the most underrated thing I noticed about Pvlace, I don't think people talk about, is obviously he can make good melodies and like he has good rhythm, has all that stuff. But the best thing about Pvlace is his sound selection is like insane, and I don't think people see that, and that is why a lot of his simple loops are just so good, because he picks his sounds very well. So for example, I'm gonna play 3 of his samples. So on this one, you can see it's just 2 pretty basic chords, and he's kind of arpeggiating them, just making a melody out of them, but there's not much else going on besides this main bell melody. But you do know there is some little like accents in the play. So this is one of my favorite Pvlace melodies. This is actually a song by Scrim called The Devil I Know. It's actually super fire. But as you can hear, this is literally like 4 notes, and then you have these little accent sounds, and there's some textures you hear too. And yeah, that's what makes Pvlace's melodies so special. Like he keeps it really simple, but he has these, just everything adds up correctly. And yeah, so now I'm gonna break down the sample. So I started with this bell from an Electro Omnisphere bank and made this really simple pattern. It's not even a chord, like I guess you could say it is, like if you wanna put it, I guess you could say it's a chord, but it's pretty much just like a really simple rhythm, like as you can see. But all I did, change the notes to go up, and then I added these little things at the bottom, and they stay the same. So this is pretty much the bass line. So and yeah, kept it really simple. The next thing I added was this pad kind of sound from this Alpha Free VST. Not much to say about it. It's just like I said, a little like texture, something to sit in the background. Next thing I added was this ambient sound to also sit in the background. You know, I don't really know how I came up with like the rhythm and notes, but I just kind of added like something that dips down. Like as you can see, it goes down and then it goes up, and it goes up and it goes down, and it's the same thing both sides, but it's just something to sit in the background, and it's kind of like an ambient whistle. Another thing I put in on purpose is Pvlace is really good at manipulating whatever sounds he uses. So if you hear this by itself, and then because I stretch this note out, it's gonna swing up. And yeah. The next thing I added was this little like tropical accent. This is also a base, pretty much like the same thing with the accents and fillers and textures. Just gives it a little bit more room. And this is from a Pvlace omnisphere bank, and yeah, it's just a really simple like tropical kind of sound with some delay on it. So the last thing I added was arcade, and honestly, like, arcade's fire, but like that shit is cheating. Pvlace says he doesn't like arcade. I think he uses just like acapellas from YouTube and just chops them up. But this is from a Distant Voices bank. This is from a Distant Voices bank called Spectral. I have no idea how my computer did not crash when I opened it. I'm gonna close that, but yeah, I'll just play it by itself. But pretty much she has these kind of like vocally sounds that just give it some more room, almost like a counter melody, because it's not like a little texture or filler, but it's not like a full melody. But yeah, yep, that's all I'm gonna play because my computer's probably gonna explode. So like that vocal I was just talking about, here's an example of how he uses them. As you can see, he just has a couple like simple elements and he just puts them all together in each of his loops. And so for mixing, honestly, I have no idea what this guy does. This is just like what I use. I pretty much just use EQ, reverb, that one detune plugin, good hertz, wow control. But yeah, it's just reverb and EQ. But something that I've done and I've been doing lately to add some more ambient kind of effect is I'll render the melody out, space it apart because the reverb, pitch it down. So as you can see, I pitched it down, and this is my master. I just put ambience, which is a free reverb plugin, unstable, a free detune plugin, and good hertz wow control, which is a detune plugin that can also be free, you never know. I render this out and then I pitch it back up, and it kind of gives it a different effect. So when you add the effects while it's pitched down and then bring it up, it's just a different kind of vibe because the effects are going off of the pitch down melody. Yeah, I learned that from Cookup. But yeah, so now we have this loop. It'll be in the description below. Thank you so much for support. My goal is to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the month, and I think that is possible. Yeah, so shout out Pvlace, shout out 808 Mafia, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Follow my Instagram at LoganKVHM. Peace.
Vielleicht brauch ich nur einen Text und dann bin ich weg. Kauf Mama ein Haus und dann bin ich raus, ab in nem Jet. Sag mir, du fährst, Baby Girl, sag, ist es echt? Bitte warte auf nichts, sag mir nur, wann bin ich jetzt? Vielleicht brauch ich nur einen Text und dann bin ich weg. Kauf Mama ein Haus und dann bin ich raus, ab in nem Jet. Sag mir, du fährst, Baby Girl, sag, ist es echt? Warte auf nichts, sag mir nur, wann bin ich jetzt? Wann bin ich jetzt?